online and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
The family of a 13-year-old runaway from Moorhead says they're worried, scared, and desperate. He was last seen 3 weeks ago, and they hope he's still in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Today, they searched for the teen, and Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie was there as well. It's a story you'll only see here on Valley News Live.
Thinking about it makes me really sick to my stomach, like something bad has happened to him.
Melissa Hughes is a brand new mom. Her baby Zoe is just 13 days old. And while most moms would be at home with their newborn, Melissa spends much of her days searching for her little brother, Joshua Neumayer. She calls him Bubba, and he was last seen at College Park Apartments in Moorhead on September 25th.
Have you found Bubba? Any word on Bubba? Can you do this? Can you call the cops? Can you call the news? And it's I just gave birth. I can barely feed my baby and sleep, let alone do all this stuff.
Hughes tells us she spends hours behind the wheel of her truck searching for Joshua.
You should not be missing this long. He's 13. Where would he go?
She makes the trip from her home in Detroit Lakes almost every day to look for him.
Drive by Rumpke 100 times. I drive by this place 100 times.
She's checked with police, social services, schools, and strangers. No one has seen Joshua.
My biggest fear is that he's not alive. And I try not to think about that. I try and think he's just really good at hiding.
Hughes tells us growing up was tough. She says mom and dad were in and out of treatment facilities. And being the oldest of 4 kids, she practically raised Joshua.
No matter what, I'll never stop looking for him. Ever. I don't know what I'm going to do if I get bad news.
In the FM area, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Here's another look at Joshua. He stands about 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighs 140 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information about his whereabouts, call 701-451-7660. An Indiana man will spend a year and a half on supervised probation for getting into a teenage girl's car in Fargo, touching her inappropriately and exposing himself to her. The incident happened in March along Main Avenue. Authorities say 38-year-old Irvin Carmen got into the girl's car without permission, groped her chest and crotch over her clothes. The girl ran from the car, but that's when Carmen followed her and pulled down his pants. West Fargo police are asking for your help locating a man named George Roy. He is wanted for multiple open warrants, including one for driving under suspension. If you have any information, call local law enforcement. Across the river, Moorhead police are asking for your help tracking down a 59-year-old man. They say Stephen Vogel is wanted for open warrants, including one for possession of a controlled substance. If you have any information about Vogel, you're urged to call police. Emotions ran high in Cass Lake, Minnesota tonight. A family saying a teacher there struck their child with a textbook, and they claim not enough is being done to make it right. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly spoke with the family who brought their concerns to the school board this evening.
Chucky Kingbird is 8 years old and attends Cass Lake Bennett Elementary. His family says one day Chucky was up at 3 a.m. and something wasn't quite right.
He says, well, my teacher hit me today. He goes, I don't want to go to school. I'm scared.
Marilyn Wynn says his 3rd grade teacher took a textbook and hit him on top of the head.
I called the school and told him I was coming over there.
The family says this is not only abuse, but also a very scary situation, as Chucky suffered from a brain infection just last year, and they fear a blow like this could have been much worse.
Charles recently just overcame and survived a brain infection. He had to learn to walk and talk again. This was last year in July. And a hit to the head could be fatal for him.
The school took action. A letter from the principal said their concerns were investigated thoroughly. Chucky was also moved to a different classroom. Cassandra Kingbird says this is not enough.
He's 8 years old. He shouldn't have to be worrying about being safe at school, especially from his teacher. Something needs to be done.
At the school board meeting, several family members stepped forward, saying student safety needs to take priority. Policy does not allow the board to make direct comments on public statements, but recommended that the family make a formal complaint to the superintendent as the next step. The board was also able to make a broad remark that complaints like these are taken very seriously and are investigated. In Cass Lake, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
The teacher in question was not removed from her position after initial investigation. One person did step forward at tonight's meeting in defense of the teacher, saying that these allegations are out of line for the person's character and are not true. As more minors are picking up the vaping habit, health leaders are looking for new ways to reach them. These are Java jackets. You can find them at the West Fargo High School, at the school store, or at their concession stand. Fargo Cass Public Health says that the goal of the program is to meet kids where they are.
We just wanted to create something that appealed to youth and young adults that was kind of eye-catching.
A large percent of our student body is coffee drinkers, so it's a great way to introduce that to them and get that information out.
The program just expanded into Jamestown. Central Valley Health District is working with Jamestown High School students, and Java jackets are also being placed inside Jamestown coffee shops. Williston's fire department is experiencing a baby boom. There are 24 children under the age of 2 among all paid and volunteer firefighters. They say the department's demographic tends to be pretty young. Many have moved to the area for work, and they're all ready to start having kids.
Williston's a great place to raise a family, and especially here at the fire department. Like, we are all one big family, and with as many kids running around, like, they get to grow up with each other, and the family just keeps growing.
Olson says luckily he has a lot of help because his 7-month-old twins, Grayson and Easton, keep his hands pretty full. Sandbagging efforts are underway in Jamestown as the threat of potential flooding looms. City officials say that they're filling sandbags as a precaution. The Red Cross is also there helping with the mission and supplying snacks to volunteers. Authorities are also reminding everyone to avoid flooded areas. Nearly half of all flood deaths are vehicle related. So if you see water flowing across the road, you're urged to turn around.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Well, through the past 24 hours, we've really turned a corner here across the valley. The clouds, a thing of the past, as our skies now in the FM area mostly moony heading into the evening. Now, it wasn't a warm day by any stretch of the imagination, but we did see a decrease in that cloud cover late in the day, and that continues to work its way across the region. 41 is what the thermometer says. With the little bit of wind we have, it feels like 37. Yeah, we're talking about wind chills this fall. Southeasterly winds under 10 miles per hour. The Red River has swollen, many of its tributaries as well, and numerous areas are struggling with up to moderate stage flooding. And what we're seeing in Oslo is major stage flooding. That current reading 36.5 feet or better and rising. It's expected to continue rising through Friday before peaking out just a little bit. So major flooding taking place from Grand Forks and points north in towards Oslo. 39 in Bemidji now. Thief River Falls and Grand Forks also at that same reading. Woo! Jamestown, 34 degrees there, 34 in Sisseton, and right now 37 degrees the temperature in Wadena. A few snow showers near Lake of the Woods drifting out towards the Arrowhead of Minnesota, clearing skies moving in from the west. And your hour-by-hour forecast shows as we head to bed tonight, our temperatures will dipsy-doodle their way down into the upper 20s and low 30s out there. And there will be a chance for some areas of patchy, dense fog during the overnight hours. The best chance, northeast North Dakota, where we have some low-level moisture available from the snowbanks out there. And as temperatures cool the air, well, we certainly could see a little bit of that haze and fog. It does look like the rest of us start the day with plentiful sunshine, but chilly temperatures. That sun, though, goes right to work on the snow-free soils of the Southern Valley. Up to the north, the sun goes to work on melting the snow as opposed to really warming your temperatures significantly. But all of us should see afternoon sun. We will have a taste of southeast breezes. You see Hutch's blue arrows here. Those indicate winds between around 10 to 15 miles per hour, and a few of us may see gusts over 20 at times. The evening looks delightful for your Thursday night. All in all, a pretty fair Thursday. Fargo, we start out at 34, ramping through the 40s, and then in the afternoon we will glide up through the 50s, get real close to 60 degrees at peak heating time. Remember, it'll be just a touch breezy from the southeast, your sunset at 6:37. Elsewhere, a shot at 60-degree weather from southeast North Dakota through the southern Red River Valley. Grand Forks, mid-50s. Well, cool that off by about 10 degrees. You'll be getting the same amount of sun in the Devil's Lake Basin, minus your morning fog, but we'll be melting snow as opposed to heating the air. 54 Detroit Lakes and 56 in Fergus Falls. The storm system impacting a lot of us, but really impacting the agricultural community. This corn standing in puddles of water. Kirsten, thanks for uploading your view from Amaretto. Here's a look at your planning forecast. This dry stretch does continue now through the work week. Thursday, 58, up into the 60s Friday and Saturday for the Bison game. It'll be breezy to close out the work week. Sunday and into Monday, another good chance of measurable rainfall, a tenth to, well, maybe even more inches of rain. Little break and then another system on Wednesday. So still unsettled.
I think of last Saturday and how cool it was out at the tailgate section and how it's going to be this Saturday.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
It'll be easy.
All right, thanks. Up next on Valley News Live 10 at 10, how close do you look at that selfie before you post it? Why you should.